Burning Issy, Melvin Burgess, Chapter 9. Iron took over our house entirely. As soon as she woke up, she sent a lad from down the road to the baker to order a cake, got Nat to kill another chicken, which he certainly could not afford, and declared grandly that today was a feast day. She brought nuts and sweets and candied fruits with her, and we picked at them while we got everything ready. Nat was grateful for what she had done, of course, but I could see he wasn't happy about his guest. Excuse me. She refused to tell us how she had won the mannequin back. There is something it's better not to know, she said, and he suspected her of knowing more than a little witchcraft herself. When she offered to Dr. Gill, Nat refused and tended to him with his own herbal remedies. Ian just shrugged. She suggests that I helped him in the curing. Nat looked at her. I have no such gifts, I began to explain, but Ian shook her head. You have more than you know, she told me, and I saw Nat look again at me with a suspicious glance. He treated Gil while the chicken was roasting, and Ian took me outside and insisted that I show a wound on my arm where a person had burned me. I had lost an area of skin as big as my palm, and Ian scowled angrily as he examined it. He preaches love with this hate in his heart, she growled. It was for my own good. The parson is a good man, I insisted, but he wanted me to confess, but I wasn't brave enough. Good, you call him? Snorted Ian. Then God protect this land until it learns what goodness is. She put her hand over the wound. I remember thinking it was odd that it didn't hurt. She smiled and said, It'll be better soon, but you better keep the bandage on for a while in case Nat sees. She went inside to turn the chicken. I didn't know what she was talking about. The wound was still there. Only that night when I went to bed did I realise I hadn't noticed my arm hurt for hours. And when I took the bandage off, it had healed right over in those few hours. I did as she asked, though, and kept the bandage on. The chicken was soon ready, and the day after Ian had walked down from the hill with Gil's mannequin in her cloak, we were all sitting round a table to eat the chicken and the cake with cream. The meal began awkwardly. Nat was growing more and more suspicious of his guest, but Ian was so full of fun that Nat just couldn't help himself, and we all spent the meal roaring with laughter. Gil perked up too, and although he was still too weak, he got up to sit at the table and eat some broth and a little bread. I did a wonderfully funny impersonation of Demdike boiling up the mannequin, and she had him in fits of laughter with it. You'd never believe the old witch had nearly frightened him to death. After dinner, Ian announced that she had some presents. Once again she turned to her bag. Something to help the cunning man in his trade, she said. Nat looked alarmed. And I could see he thought she was going to bring out some piece of witchery. She made that long, gurgling laugh of hers and told him not to worry. She'd left all the oddities up at Melkin Tower. She brought a pestle and mortar for Nat, a good clay one. Nat thanked her and stroked the smooth clay bowl with his finger. Oh, it's much better than my old one, he admitted. Not much payment for looking after Issy for 10 years, commented Ian. But for Gil, she had a little knife with a sickle-shaped blade and a horn handle. For cutting herbs, she said. And there's also this. She handed him a little polished red stone on a silver chain. This is a charm against witchcraft, she told him. Demdike knows you're frightened of her, and she'll try again. This will help. You nearly lost your life and cost your sister her soul, she said severely. Keep to the herbs in the future. I promise, muttered Gil. Now, for Issy, said Ayahan. She took out of her bag a cape just like hers, waxed and long and with ties right down the front and a pair of real leather boots, iron shod to grip the ground. We'll have a long journey before us, said Ayahan. I want Issy to come with me. I jumped up, frightened or excited, I don't know which. Well, where? When? I wanted to know. Nat waved his hand for me to sit down. But she wants me to, I began. Nat gave me a sideways glance that shut me up. This is her home now, he said. I can't afford to let her go. You have Gil, said Ayahan. I dare say your daughter Kate will help out. Ayahan seemed to know everything about what without being told. Nat scowled. You gave her into my care, he pointed out. She's not yours to take back. Ayahan nodded in agreement. But there are things she needs to learn. She looked across the table to me. What do you remember about your life before you came here, Issy? She asked. Then I told her about my dream. I could see Nat frowning at me. It was an unspoken rule that these things should never been mentioned, but there was something about Ayahan that brought all my secrets tumbling out of me. I know where the dream comes from, and I can help you understand it when the time is right, said Ayahan. I promise you that neither of us has anything to do with hell or the devil or harm of any kind. She looked seriously into my face. When I knew you, you had gifts, God-given gifts of healing and seeing. I can help you get them back. Such gifts will grow, whether you want them to or not. You must be careful they grow properly. You have a bad name here through no fault of your own. Even to be a wise man is dangerous these days. Demdike is interested in you. So is the parson. They are dangerous people, and there are others worse. It would be better to come now, for a while anyway, until the business is forgotten. Remember, she smiled, you can leave me whenever you like. Nothing's forever, with your father's permission, of course. Nat gave me another hot little glance. I knew that he loved me, but he was thinking that I was dangerous to him, his family and myself, and he no longer able to protect me. It's up to her, Issy, he growled. I knew then that he had let me go. End of chapter 9.